Hello students, welcome to BioLearning with Aparna. Now I am starting with the chapters of class 10 NCERT. In that context, the first chapter is life processes. Of different organisms, the life can be detected by a variety of activities. For example, we can easily check an animal if it is living or not by its different life activities. Now in case of plants also we can detect, but apart from these visible life activities, number of molecular activities occur in that organism. Now we all know that organisms are made up of or consist of different organ systems. Now these systems, it consists of organs. The organs are made up of tissues. Tissues consist of cells, and of course cells are made up of still smaller molecules. Now all these tissues or these different parts are continuously affected by environment. Now as a result of effect of environment, there may be either damage or breakup of these different systems. Now if suppose any of these system is damaged or there is a breakup, the life will not exist. Now here, in order to avoid this damage or breakup, a number of life maintenance activities are there. Now these life maintenance activities are required essentially by different organisms for repairing the damage or breakup of their own body system. Now for these different maintenance activities, organisms strictly require the energy. And obviously you know that this energy is obtained from food. Now getting this food from the surrounding environment by a specific process, that process is known as nutrition. Now we all know that a variety of food or the different food types, it act as source of energy. Now even though there is a wide range of food types, finally these are converted to a type of energy that can be utilized for different life activity or different molecular activities. Now consider simple organism like unicellular organism. For example, say amoeba. Now in case of unicellular organism, almost all part of the cell is in contact or is exposed to the environment. So in that case, the nutrients or the food is taken up by a very simple process, that is by simple diffusion. Now in such organism, as you know that the intake of food or the excretion of waste product or the gaseous exchange is carried out by simple diffusion. On the contrary, in case of multicellular organism, now in case of this multicellular organism, the body size is larger as well as the body is complex in structure. Not all parts of this multicellular organism are exposed to environment. So in that case, the process of simple diffusion is not sufficient for all this activity. So in order to get the food in each and every cell, it requires certain complex processes. So in case of multicellular organism, there are different life processes unlike the unicellular organism. These life processes include nutrition, respiration, transport of food in all parts of the body, and finally the excretion. Now in our proceeding part, we have to consider all these life processes in the multicellular organism, and we have to compare all these processes in the plants as well as animals. Starting with the life processes, the first life process that we are going to study is nutrition. What is meaning of nutrition? In simple words, the process of uptake of food from surrounding environment is known as nutrition. So in a very simple manner, the way by which or the process by which different organisms get food or their nutrients from surrounding environment is called as nutrition. Now as we know that different organisms, they utilize different kind of food or a variety of food. So broadly speaking, on the basis of type of food that is utilized or that is taken up, the process of nutrition can be classified into two major types: autotrophic nutrition and heterotrophic nutrition. The type of nutrition in which organisms utilize the food in the form of simple inorganic sources, like carbon dioxide and water is known as autotrophic nutrition. So the type of nutrition in which organisms utilize the food from simple inorganic sources in the form of carbon dioxide and water. And the organisms which utilize the food by autotrophic nutrition are known as autotrophs. The best studied examples of this autotrophic nutrition are plants. And another one, some bacteria. Here only those bacteria which are able to carry out the process of photosynthesis, that is photosynthetic bacteria. Now in another case, the process or the nutrition in which organisms utilize the food from the complex substances or complex sources is known as heterotrophic nutrition. Here the organisms convert the complex organic substances to simple one. The organisms which obtain the food or which are showing the heterotrophic nutrition are known as heterotrophs. The example for this is different animals as well as one more major category, that is fungi. Now here, for this conversion of complex organic substances to simple form, they require the biocatalyst, that is enzymes. So all these animals or fungi showing the heterotrophic nutrition are directly or indirectly dependent on the autotrophs for their nutrition purposes. Now let us start with autotrophic nutrition. Now in this type of nutrition, the autotrophs, they satisfy their energy requirements or they fulfill their energy requirements by taking up or by utilizing the process of photosynthesis. So whatever the different energy requirement of autotrophs are there, these are fulfilled by a specific process known as photosynthesis. Now all of you are knowing the exact definition of photosynthesis. What happens in photosynthesis? In this process, the carbon dioxide and water from surrounding environment is absorbed by the plant cells and then it is converted into the complex form or it is converted into the carbohydrates. But for this conversion, two major factors that are essentially required, that is light and the photosynthetic pigment, that is chlorophyll. So these are carbohydrates, these further act as source of energy. So overall, in the process of photosynthesis, carbon dioxide and water molecules from the surrounding environment in presence of light and chlorophyll pigment are converted to carbohydrates and that will form or that will be utilized as source of energy. Now whatever the different carbohydrates that are not immediately used for the generating the energy that are stored in the form of starch. Now this starch act as energy reserve. So whenever there is lack of energy source, the plant utilize this stored energy form, that is starch. So in short, we can describe this process as the 6 molecules of carbon dioxide plus 6 molecules of water molecule in presence of light and chlorophyll pigment. Now where this chlorophyll pigment is located? It is located in the chloroplast, that are the type of chromoplasts that are present in the plant cell, and these are further converted into 6 molecules or the specific molecule, that is C6H12O6 plus oxygen molecules are released. So the process of photosynthesis can be summarized as, or that can be represented in the form of a reaction as like this. Now here C6H12O6 is nothing but glucose, that is the form of carbohydrates. So the major events in the process of photosynthesis are, the first thing is that there is absorption of carbon dioxide and water molecule from the surrounding environment. Now this absorption is carried out by the pigment that is known as chlorophyll. So the first step is catalyzed by the specific photosynthetic pigment that is present in the green plants. So the first event in the photosynthesis is absorption of carbon dioxide and water by chlorophyll. Similarly, then this CO2 and water in the second step or the second event in the photosynthesis is the conversion of light energy into the chemical energy. Now whenever we describe the process of photosynthesis, we say that in presence of sunlight. So overall here the light energy that is present in the sunlight is converted into the chemical energy when the carbon dioxide and water is absorbed by chlorophyll. Then further there is photolysis of water. That means in the presence of sunlight, these water molecules are splitted into the carbon and oxygen, so that whatever that released carbon, it is combining and forming the glucose molecule. So there is photolysis of water molecule and it will finally reduce carbon dioxide to the carbohydrates. So in short, there are 3 major events in the process of photosynthesis, that is absorption of carbon dioxide and water by the chlorophyll pigment. Then the light energy is converted into the chemical energy, and finally there is photolysis of water where there is the reduction of carbon dioxide to form the carbohydrates. Now as we have seen, whatever the different carbohydrates that are not readily utilized or that are not essentially required as a source of energy, that are stored in the form of energy reserve as in starch. Now if we observe in case of animal, there is also the storage of excess energy or excess of carbohydrate, that is in the form of, not in the form of glucose but in the form of glycogen. Now when we describe overall process of this photosynthesis, all the factors are essentially required.
Observe the cross section of a leaf under microscope, we can notice certain green dots. These green dots are cell organelles that are called chloroplast. This chloroplast contain the chlorophyll pigment which is essentially required for the process of photosynthesis.
So the different components of photosynthesis are essentially required for completion of this process. Now this can be shown by the different activities. For example, in case of chlorophyll. So the presence of chlorophyll is essentially required for photosynthesis can be shown by performing a very simple activity. Now take a potted plant of variegated leaves such as money plant or the croton. Now why we are selecting these plants? Because these plants are having the leaves with the patches. So in case of money plant there are yellow and green patches, while in case of croton a variety of colored patches are there. So such a plant is initially kept in dark for 3 days. So initially it is kept in dark for 3 days. Then it is kept in sunlight for 6 hours. After that the leaf is plucked. Now this leaf which is having the patches is plucked, and initially a tracing of this leaf is carried out and the patched area or the patches are marked. Then this leaf is kept in boiling water for few minutes. Initially that leaf is kept in boiling water for few minutes. Then it is taken out from that boiling water and kept in a beaker containing alcohol. Now this beaker containing alcohol and our leaf is then kept in boiling water bath and heated for the time period till alcohol boils. Now initially observe the color of solution of alcohol, and then after heating the leaf in this alcohol, observe the color of the solution as well as observe the color of leaf. Then rinse off the leaf with iodine solution. Now at the end of this activity, what are your observations or what are your conclusions? Now here there is change in the color of alcohol solution as well as there is change in the color of leaf. So from this activity, it is clear that the chlorophyll is essentially required for photosynthesis.
Plants obtain carbon dioxide from environment using stomata. Now observe this diagram. Here the stomata are tiny pores present on the surface of leaves. The stomatal pores are surrounded by guard cells containing chloroplast. Opening or closing of stomata is the function of guard cells. Massive amount of exchange of gases occurs in the leaves through the stomata required for photosynthesis. Exchange of gases also occurs across the surface of stems, roots and leaves. Plants close or open these stomatal pores by swelling or shrinking of the guard cells. This is required as large amount of water can be lost through these stomata. The stomatal pores are opened when carbon dioxide is required, while closed when carbon dioxide is not required.
So the next activity to show the requirement of carbon dioxide for photosynthesis is as follows. So initially take two healthy, nearly same size potted plants. Then keep that plants in the dark for 3 days. After that, place each plant on the separate glass plate and then keep the watch glass containing potassium hydroxide near one plant. Here the potassium hydroxide is added because it will absorb the carbon dioxide. Then both the plant, it is kept only near one plant. Then both the plants are covered with the separate bell jars and then it is made airtight by sealing with the Vaseline. Now here by making this airtight, the air will be prevented, so there will be in the first plant the carbon dioxide will not be available. Then both these plants are kept in sunlight for 2 hours. After this complete process, a single leaf from both the plants is taken out and it is checked for the presence of starch as we have seen in our previous activity by immersing in boiling water and alcohol solution. Now after completing the activity for checking the presence of starch, observe whether both the leaves from both different plants are showing the same amount of starch or not. Now you will observe that the amount of starch in the second plant will be more than that of the amount of starch in the first plant, because the carbon dioxide is made unavailable in the first plant. Now what we will conclude? Here we can conclude that the carbon dioxide is essentially required for the process of photosynthesis. Now coming to the end of this session, let me tell some important points. Now we know that the autotrophs, they obtain their energy or they fulfill their energy requirement by the process of photosynthesis. Now along with this energy requirement, they also require certain raw material and for their building up of body. They utilize the water and they obtain that water from the soil using roots. They also get other materials like nitrogen, phosphorus, iron and magnesium from the soil. Nitrogen is required for building up of protein and other components. They require or they utilize the nitrogen in the form of inorganic nitrates or nitrates. These are formed by bacteria using the atmospheric nitrogen. We will continue our discussion on heterotrophic nutrition in our next video. Till then, like, share and subscribe my channel. Don't forget to press the bell button so that you will be notified with our new videos. Till then, stay tuned. Thank you.